just a little bit ago, after I went on a job interview, that they caught the guy that walked into my storage with his weenie hanging out. Um, yeah. Um, and I mean, there is video all over. You have to be stupid to do anything at these storage complexes that have surveillance. But yes, I just found out. They got the whole video. They actually matched the the face to the driver's license on file and found out he was actually renting there. Oh my gosh. I I was at my storages and some guy walked around and said, "Hey, what you doing?" And I was uh busy on the computer. I had just got done applying for some jobs, and I was watching Dennis Collins pick up a Mustang in Arkansas, out at Fayetteville, and on YouTube. And man, I'm going to tell you what, I had discussed it in one of my other vlogs. Matter of fact, I think he commented on it and said I should have reached out, grabbed it, and twisted it off or something. But um, the only problem with that is he would be engaging, I think. You know, if there were charges on that, they would probably call it engaging. And so it was really terrible, but very scary. And the problem was that when he walked into my storage unit, he was right next to, uh, box cutter and exacto blades and stuff that was there, um, in a shelf and stuff. And I mean, just really scary, just totally scary. And so, anyway, um, they picked it up on the video and did face recognition to his driver's license, showed he was actually a renter. And that's what was really scary because I thought, geez, that he could have been somebody that just, wandered off the street, or could have been somebody that, maybe followed me from the washateria or the gym or something, Um, because at first I didn't think it was a renter, but they got all the video back and everything, and they told me they were gonna do face recognition on him to see if the guy was actually a renter, and nothing had really happened until today. They said, "Oh, remember that guy?" And I'm like, "Yeah," like I'm scared every day, that he shows back up. And if somebody's gonna rape you, I mean, you have to be really careful. Somebody could cut your throat. I mean, really bad things can happen. So it's a very scary, scary situation. And so anyway, they gave him notice to move, and they said that he actually admitted everything that I wrote down on the report. You know, and the biggest problem was, they wanted to call the sheriffs right away, everything when they found out and all that, and and then the next day and all that. And I said, well, here's the problem: the sheriffs come out. I mean, I only looked at the guy like two times, and I can't tell, if he was Mexican or he was, from Indonesia or what, because he didn't speak good English. Um, and he could have been, Russian, Ukraine, who knows? It just appeared to me he didn't speak good English. And I didn't think he was intoxicated or anything like that. And so, and he was real plain looking. He didn't look like the mad killer. He was just real plain looking. And, they would ask a lot of questions, and it just boil down to just nothing. If you're going to do a report like that, you need to have a lot of facts. What were they exactly wearing? What colors, and what color was their hair, and what do they look like, and can you, you know, describe a picture of their face, or whatever. I said, you know, if there's not a good facial recognition picture out of all the videos, then I think it's worthless to even jack with the damn sheriffs because, you know, you're looking for nobody. I mean, you know, they just end up looking like any other person. And a lot of military rent at this one complex, which is intriguing. I said, man, it's military dude, the party's over. If it gets back to the base, I mean, the party is so over. And so, you know, it was for the longest time, I thought it was just a stranger. It wasn't even anybody that rented there, but it actually is a person that rents there. So they gave him notice to move, and he admitted everything that I put on the report. And that's what they said. They said, you know, it's funny because every single thing that you documented on the report is exactly what he admitted. He told me, like, everything that he did. And it's like, well, obviously he knew what he was doing. And he says, yeah, well, he claimed that he was doing his hookah. I said, well, all hookah is like smoking cigarettes. I said, you can go to any of these hookah places in town and you know, go smoke hookah with people, you know. That they're not letting you smoke dope, you know. It's like smoking an e-cig, you know. And he said, oh no, he said it was hookah with dope in it or something. I'm like, well, I don't know anything about that. Um, and I said, well, he just didn't seem dopey or drunk, you know. And so that was my concern, you know. Yeah. So uh, really scary, but yeah, he admitted it, and they have a rule there. I mean, if you violate, just like most any other complex, it's time to go. And can you imagine, you know, if he'd gone to other females in there, and the video, get this, the video shows him walking like 200 foot towards my unit, and then standing there for a little bit, and then stepping inside the unit. It shows him, and it shows him with his hoo-ha out, walking towards my unit. I mean, that's like premeditated, you know? Man, scary stuff. But they caught the guy, gave him notice to get out. He begged to stay. They said, no, absolutely not. And they said, you are lucky you didn't touch her. And I said, because they asked me several times, did he touch you? Did he touch you? I said, no, he didn't touch me. I said, but I had a hard time getting him out of my storage unit. Because, you know, I got up and told him, look, you know, it's time to go. And he's like, why? And he's standing there holding his stuff. And I'm like, it's time to go out. And he stepped out finally. And I went over and locked the unit and I split, man. Yeah. So, real scary. But it would have been worse if it happened to other people. When I was just waiting for that to happen, I said, this person may be coming in anytime and doing that to any female that's there, you know? So, pretty scary. But, they got him. So, you know, the guy was like, oh, I want to apologize to the lady and everything. And they're like, no, you'll leave her alone. And he's like, I'm really sorry. And then, well, why did he do it? You know, he's lucky he didn't get registered sex offender for life because that's what they do here. Florida doesn't play. If you become a sex offender, you are a sex offender for life unless you can prove someone else did it. Then you can have those charges reversed. But if you are a registered sex offender or pled guilty to registered sex offender, party's over. You're ruined in the state of Florida. There's no reversing it. So, he's very, very lucky, I would say. You know, but but yeah, it's just a shame, man. So, you know, I don't think he was on drugs at all. I don't think he was drunk. And I said, well, did you get where, the guy was from? Because, he spoke as if, he didn't speak good English, you know. And they said, oh no, this guy speaks English and Spanish, and speaks pretty well in English. I said, you are kidding me. So I don't know. I do not know. But yay, that this guy was caught and hopefully didn't get to anybody else. Um, that's wonderful because there's a lot of people that go in and out all the time at storages, and you know, I mean, I've never heard anything that kooky and crazy. I've seen people go in storages to go do it and stuff, and I've seen tricks for living in storages and had guys coming in and out. Yeah, there's a such thing. But that's their biz. But just to have somebody, especially if they're renting in a complex and they're done that once, will they do it again? You know, will they do it at the next storage they go to? I mean, what kind of person are they? Have they done that before? And will they do it again? Probably. Sometimes people are repeated. At one of those, if they can get away with it one time, they'll do it again. But I mean, look, my youngest daughter's dad, I'm telling you, he was so petrified to pull off the side of the road and go in the bushes to pee when we were on travel trips, or to even pee in between two doors open on one side of the car on the expressway while people going by like 80 miles an hour. He was like, no, 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 I'm not doing it. I could get arrested for indecent exposure. And I'm like, you were such a baby, you know? And he's like, no, I'm not doing it. I will wait till the next exit. I mean, he was very stern about that. And I just thought, oh, how silly, because I'll do it in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? If I'm on the highway on a trip, especially out in the middle of Benners, hey, what's going on? I'll open up both doors and pee from a distance so that both doors cover me. Like, people going by so fast, they don't really have a lot of time to see why you have both doors open, you know? And you're standing in between them, taking a wee wee real quick, you know? Yeah. So, just like going to the bushes, the only problem is you got to be careful going to the bushes on the highway because there might be snakes or fire ants. And I've stepped in an entire fire ant hole in an emergency room over it too before trying to go pee. Um, but yeah, so yeah, yeah, amazing. I mean, it was just totally amazing. I was like, they probably didn't believe me, you know. And they did pick up video where there was a guy at my unit, at one of my units that I've got there. They did pick that up, and a few weeks back. They're like, okay, well, we saw this guy, And then they showed me a picture of another guy and said, is this him? And I said, I don't think so. They said, because if it is, we'll call the sheriffs right now. I said, it just doesn't look right. I don't think so. And he said, well, you're right, because that's a friend of mine I took a picture of. I just wanted to see what you'd say. It's like, oh, great. I mean, if you're going to put the finger on somebody, you really want to be sure. That's the thing. But the videos tell all, so there it is. So, it was just a real creepy situation. I mean, it definitely creeped me out. I mean, that's not the first time somebody's so-called intended to rape me or whatever, or whooped it out. Um, and it's a really scary position to be in as a female. It's very, very frightening. Extremely frightening. So, I mean, people get their throats cut over it. Matter of fact, there was a comment on my YouTube video, which I posted, that somebody said they should have cut your throat. If you noticed on my community comments, you'll see it. And it said they should have cut your throat over that video. That's really frightening. So, yeah. And it's illegal too. When you're doing comments like that anywhere on the internet, you can get in jail for stuff like that. It's not appropriate. It's threatening. But yeah, so I'm glad that it's like basically done now. At least he's got caught. Because if he didn't get caught, he's going to do it again and again and again. And somebody might be dead or get really, really hurt. Yeah, it's very scary. So, at least they're getting rid of the guy. It's hard to believe, though, that somebody would rent at a complex and do something like that at the complex. Oh my, that's just, how stupid are you, you know? Man, you know? Wow. Yeah, so it's really cold. It's going to be like in the 30s tonight. Man, and I'm not looking forward to it. Uh, and, um, and I'm going to do a vlog again in a little while and tell you guys about the jobs thing today. Oh my gosh, what a mess. But, yeah, last night was like in the 40s. Tonight it's going to be in the 30s. Mother God, so bad cold. But, yeah, so I don't know. So I was hoping to go take a shower today at the gym, but it was just too cold to fool with it. It takes so long for my hair to dry. Even if I bring a hair dryer, and try to dry it, it's still damp. And I just didn't want to get ultra sick. I already woke up sneezing this morning, so I got too cold last night. So, yeah. I hate when people like to freaking cruise around my car in really odd spots. It's just weird. But yeah, so I guess it's a blessing that they caught the dude. But you know, probably didn't scare him enough. Now, if they put out a thing, um, a report on him, he can't rent from anything. You know, but if he got registered sex offender charge, he's gonna be ruined. Honest to God, he will be ruined because they got video proof. Can you imagine that video proof of a guy going like 200 foot from my unit with his weenie hanging out or something? Before or after, it even shows where he followed me after I locked it up. Because I told him, I said, I felt like he was following me. Because he kept trying to ask me stuff when I locked it and left. Going, you pretty. Where are you going? What's your name? You know? God. Ugh. So, we'll see. But major screw up. But at least, the proof is in the pudding. Yay. So I just thought I'd get on here and let you guys know if you'd been wondering about it. I had a couple friends I had told about it. My friends that were in from out of town, they just flew out today. And I told him he was on the plane. And I'm like, guess what? They caught the guy that whipped his weenie out at my storage. And was like, you are kidding me. I'm like, no, I just found out. So the guy was begging to apologize to me. They're like, don't even go near her. Don't you dare. Apologies are going to fix it. That was a really creepy act. That was very scary. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And I even wear a wedding ring. My daughter bought me this ring years ago. And I had all my jewelry on. But I'd had that ring on. Obviously. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly, baby. Yeah. So, I think the guy knew exactly what he was doing. I think he was talking crap, saying he was high or whatever, because he's kind of starting to realize that, what he did was highly illegal. I mean, that comes under, I'm pretty sure that comes under registered sex offender status right there. You know, and again, it's not a charge you want in the state of Florida. Not at all. Yeah. So, I don't know. But anyway, I was glad about that. That they finally, caught the dude. So, because I mean that's important. My biggest concern was if he got to somebody else. You know, because there's a lot of women that rent there too. You know, so I know two girls that rent there personally, and that would have been super scary. You know, if that happened to them. But on that, I decided to let you guys know the good news because that was really, I mean, I cried when I was told that. I was like, oh my gosh, he's been caught. You know, so I don't know. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great one. I gotta get rolling, and I'll probably do another vlog in a little bit and tell you about job stuff today. And I'll see you in the next one. I love you, and be kind to a stranger. It makes you feel better.